Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm here for another best of list, and today we're gonna be talking about best metal-rock albums of 2017. And before I start with the video, I just want to give a little background on the year that I got into metal, and the year that I got into metal was pretty much 2017. So it's pretty cool. I think that's the year I got into metal on a full-time basis, because when I was a little bit younger, I did hear some Metallica and some Disturbed music back in the day, probably around 2009 or 2010, somewhere around there, but I was too young to know what metal music was, so I didn't get to discover metal until later in life, around my late teens or whatever. You guys get the idea. But yeah, 2017, was it a good year to discover metal? I think yes, because we have a lot of good albums here to talk about. So just wanted to give you guys a background on which year I got into metal on a full-time basis, regardless of me hearing a little bit of it back in the day when I was still in my preteen years. So yeah, with that being said though, y'all, let's finally go ahead and get started with this list for best metal-rock albums of 2017. So kicking off the list is going to be Gods of Violence by Kreator. I don't think this is Kreator's best album, or I don't think it's one of their best albums by any means, but still a very good album though for what it is. You got songs like the title track Gods of Violence, Fallen Brother, which is a tribute to many legends who've passed away throughout the years. Definitely a great tribute song. Also got the song Satan is Real, among others. So yeah, it's still a good thrash metal album from these legends for what it is. Not one of their best by any means, but it still is a very good album. And I can't wait to see how Kreator follows up with Gods of Violence, because they are supposed to be releasing an album sometime, I'm just not sure when. But yeah, Gods of Violence from 2017, pretty good album. Next album on the list is The Grinding Wheel by Overkill. This is another thrash album. So yeah, man, what a way to start with these first two entries in this list. So yeah, The Grinding Wheel by Overkill. This was the era that I really first discovered Overkill, to be honest. I didn't get to discover their 80s stuff first, pretty much. But yeah, their 80s stuff is still very good though, of course. But The Grinding Wheel, on the other hand, this is just a really fast-paced thrash metal album. And that's what I love about thrash metal. Some people hate on it, but I don't care though, because thrash metal is probably my favorite subgenre of metal as of now. So this album by Overkill, it's flawless, man. You got songs like Shine On, the title track The Grinding Wheel, among others. I can't remember all the song titles right now, but yeah, man, this album, The Grinding Wheel by Overkill, is still a very, very good album from these legends. So I had to put it on here. Great stuff. Now the third album in this list, I'm not really too familiar with it, but I've heard about the band before, and I checked out a few of their songs back in like 2018, back when I still had videos on my older channel. You guys get the idea there, hopefully. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with this album, but it is a self-titled album from the band Obituary. Of course, this is a legendary death metal band. I've heard some of their material before, or a little bit of it, but not all of it in full. But I still wanted to include the self-titled album on here though, because of course that's going to be good, because Obituary, they're death metal legends, and for a reason, because they're one of the best death metal bands of all time, at least coming from me. So yeah, Obituary and their self-titled album had to make the list. Next album on the list is going to be Outlive by Demon Hunter. No, this is not one of Demon Hunter's best albums. It is one of their weaker albums along with The World Is a Thorn. But even with that being said though, Outlive was still a pretty good album for what it is. Now it's been a while since I've listened to this album, any songs from it, so I really don't remember any of the title of the songs right now. I don't remember any song titles right now, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But regardless of this being one of their weaker albums, I still think it's a decent album for what it is. So I still have to put it on here though, since I am a big Demon Hunter fan, because they probably are my favorite Christian metal band. So yeah, Outlive by Demon Hunter still has to make this list. Alright, so the next album in the list is going to be You Are We by the metalcore band While She Sleeps. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this band in general, but I did like some songs from their album You Are We, including the song they done with Ollie Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon. I think there was a title track on the album as well. That was another good song. Those are the only two song titles I know up top of my head right now. So regardless of that though, this is still an album that sounds pretty good though from everything I've heard from it thus far. So for that reason, it has to make this list. Alright, so the next album on the list is going to be Graveyard Shift by Motionless in White. Now, I know this isn't one of their best albums, well, according to critics, but I think this is a damn good album though from Motionless in White. At least to me it is. It's actually one of my favorite albums of 2017. That's why it makes this list. But yeah, man, they even have a song with Jonathan Davis from Korn on this album in one of the songs. So really good stuff there. I know that song gets a lot of negative feedback from critics because of its lyrics, I guess, but I still like that though. I think it's a good song. At least to me it is. So yeah, Graveyard Shift, lots of good material from these guys. Not their best album, I would agree with that, but regardless, Graveyard Shift, still some good stuff here. So yeah, Graveyard Shift by Motionless in White had to make this list. Next album in the list is another metalcore album, and it is Shadows Inside by the band Miss May I. Now, when it comes to this album, I haven't heard it all in full, so I probably won't be able to tell you guys much about it. I did hear some songs from it though before, I just don't remember the name of the songs, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So, Shadows Inside by Miss May I. I still did like the songs though that I heard from it, regardless of not knowing the song titles by heart. So the next album on the list is going to be Feed the Machine by Nickelback. Yeah, man, this is a really good Nickelback album here. I would at least say it's their best since 2008's Dark Horse, because Dark Horse is actually one of my favorite Nickelback albums of all time. But, yeah, man, Feed the Machine, really strong album here. You got the title track, which is one of their heaviest songs. Also got songs like Must Be Nice, the song Song on Fire, among others. So, yeah, Feed the Machine by Nickelback, of course. Nickelback fan. I've been a Nickelback fan for a very long time. So, yeah, of course, Feed the Machine has to make this list. One of the best albums in such a long time. At least nearly a decade, if you ask me. Since Dark Horse came out in 2008 and Feed the Machine came out in 2017. So, there's a 9-year difference there. But you guys get the idea there, I think. So, Feed the Machine by Nickelback, great album. Next album on the list is another album I haven't really heard in full. I did hear maybe a couple songs from it before, and the album is Ritual by In This Moment. Now, how did I first get into In This Moment? Well, back in 2017 when they done the Loudwire Music Awards, which was hosted by the legendary Chris Jericho. In This Moment performed like 2 songs from that album on that award show back in 2017, and they performed the song Roots and the song Black Wedding with the legendary Rob Halford of Judas Priest. So that's pretty much how I got into the band in this moment. Well, I didn't listen to them much afterwards because I just thought Maria Brink just had a decent voice, but I've actually gone and listened to a little bit of their songs from other albums. So yeah, Ritual though, I'm not familiar with this album. I do know 2 songs though, Roots and Black Wedding with Rob Halford of Judas Priest, but one of these days I'll definitely be glad to check out the full album though, because I do like the songs I've heard from it thus far. So for that reason, this album makes the list. Next album on the list, now, I'm not the biggest fan of this album in general. I just like maybe a few songs from it, and the album is Hickory by Ocean's 8 Alaska. This is their only album with their vocalist Jake. I'm not sure his last name, I can't remember that right now. But this was still an alright album though, for what it is. So, yeah, you got songs like Hansha, or however you pronounce that song, that was a good song. And some others. So yeah, Hickory, Ocean's 8 Alaska. Not a big fan of this album. I still want to include it on here though, because I did like the few songs though on it. Next album on the list is Dead Weight by Wage War. Man, this is a really good metalcore album. Yes, it might have like some slower songs on it, maybe. But yeah, man, regardless of this, man, is Dead Weight a very good album. It definitely is. And it may be my favorite Wage War album, I'm not sure. Either this album or Blueprints. So yeah, Dead Weight, really good metalcore album here. You got songs like Stitch, Don't Let Me Fade Away, Johnny Cash, and some other really good stuff. So if you're a fan of like metalcore, definitely check out this album. Really good stuff. Next album on the list is Will to Power by Arch Enemy. Yeah, man, really strong album here from everything I've heard from it so far. You got songs like The Eagle Flies Alone, The World Is Yours, and some other really good songs. So yeah, this album from this legendary Melodeath band has been on the list. This band isn't for everyone, but I still like their music. Great band. Next album on the list is going to be Phantom Anthem. This is from August Burns Red. This isn't one of my favorite albums from August Burns Red, because I did actually outgrow this band because I used to really like their music maybe a couple years or so ago, but again, this band just went downhill for me. So Phantom Anthem, it's one of my least favorite albums from this band of all their albums I heard in full thus far. But with that being said though, this is still not a bad album by any means. I just don't find it to be one of my favorites from the band, so I'll just leave it at that. Still a good album though, so for that reason, it makes this list. I know I've said that a lot so far throughout this video. Sometimes I just don't know what to say, so for that, y'all bear with me here. But yeah, regardless though, this album is still okay for what it is. Heaven Upside Down by Marilyn Manson is going to be the next album on this list. And please guys, do not hate on me for having Marilyn Manson on this list because of all this controversial shit that's been coming in the news all year long about Marilyn Manson doing this to women and this and that bullshit. It's just accusations. Nothing has been proven to be true as of yet. So we gotta separate the music from the stuff the lead singer has done or has been accused of. So yeah, you definitely gotta separate the music from the artist, like they say. So yeah, Heaven Upside Down, really good stuff here though. You got songs like Satan, We Know Where You Fucking Live. I think there was a title track on the album called Heaven Upside Down. That was a good song. So those are the only 3 song titles I remember up top of my head right now. So yeah, Marilyn Manson, pretty good banging here from everything I heard from these guys. So, yeah, Heaven Upside Down, I really like this album, so it had to make the list. Next album on the list is going to be Judas by Falsey. Holy fuck, man, this is one of my favorite albums of 2017, especially when it comes to rock or metal. So yeah, man, this album is flawless, man, from beginning to end. This is definitely one of those albums that I would recommend because it's really good. So I know Falsey isn't for everyone, so yeah, still worth checking out though, especially this album. So Judas, definitely a great album. You got songs like the title track Judas, which is one of their biggest songs so far. Also got songs like Drinking with Jesus, the song Painless, also Wordsworth Way, which is probably my favorite on the album. Such a beautiful song there. Definitely a meaningful song from that album. Also got songs like Burn Me Out, 3 Days in Jail with Hyro the Hero. Definitely an awesome song there between that band and that rapper. So yeah, a lot of good songs on Judas from Falsey. Definitely check it out, y'all. Next album on the list is another one of my favorite albums of 2017. So, The Sin and the Sentence by Trivium. Man, it's just a fucking amazing album. It damn sure is, y'all. So, yeah, if you guys are fans of Trivium, you guys already know that this is one of my favorite albums of the band. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is one of my favorites from the band in general. It'd be in my top 3 from this band. That's how good of an album it is. So yeah, this is definitely their best album since Shogun. I'll say that. So, yeah, man, lots of great material here. You got songs like the title track, The Sin and the Sentence. Also got songs like The Heart from Your Hate, or The Hate from Your Heart, however that song is titled. I don't remember right now the order of it, but it's something like that. You guys know what I mean, though. Also got songs like Other Worlds, Endless Nights, Thrown into Fire, and many others. So yeah, The Sin and the Sentence easily makes this list. Next album on the list is going to be 5 by Hollywood Undead. No, this isn't one of Hollywood Undead's best albums, but I still like it though for what it is. You got songs like We Own the Night, Whatever It Takes, Black Cadillac with Be Real from Cypress Hill, and some other songs. So yeah, really good album here though. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of like rap rock or rap metal. Next album on the list, now this is easily one of the band's weakest albums by far, and the album is Gone by Christian rock band Red. Now this is easily my least favorite from the band in general. I don't really go back to this album much, but it was nice to hear Red do something different. But yeah, this album was just not very good. It just didn't really fit Red's style all that well, so yeah, that's why it's easily at the bottom of any ranking from any Red fan, because it's just not a very good album overall. So regardless though, since I like the band, I still had to cut them some slack and add this album on the list. Next album on the list is Red Before Black. This is by Cannibal Corpse, another legendary death metal band. Got songs like the title track, Red Before Black. Also got my favorite song on the album, Code of the Slashers. Really good riffage there in that track. So yeah, Red Before Black, really good album here. Not one of their best from everything I've heard from these legends, but it damn sure is still a very good album from these guys. So yeah, I had to put it on here. Just 2 more albums left finally. So the next album on the list is going to be Dark Divine by like Moths to Flames. Now, I was kind of not wanting to include this album on this list because it just doesn't really sound much like Moths to Flames, to be honest, because it was more one of their more radio friendly songs. But yeah, man, you still got a lot of good songs though from this album. So for that reason, it makes this list, regardless of how it sounds. Now, I'm not usually the biggest fan when metalcore bands change up their style a bit. But the way Like Balls to Flames did, actually don't mind it, because at least it still sounds like the band a little bit, though, if you guys know what I mean here. So yeah, you might not have many uncleans from their lead vocalist on this album, but you do have a little bit of uncleans, though, at least from everything I've heard from it, or at least everything I remember from it, because I believe I did check out this album in full before, or majority of it, but it's been a while, so I can't really remember. So yeah, man, Dark Divine, I still had to cut this band some slack and add this album on here, because it is one of the better metalcore albums that does sound radio friendly. So I gotta give props to Like Balls to Flames on that. So Dark Divine, good album. Check it out if you're into metalcore music. Alright y'all, so the last album in this list for best metal-rock albums of 2017 is going to be Nightbringers by the Black Dahlia Murder. Of course, definitely a really great melodic death metal band here. I've enjoyed everything I've heard from these guys thus far. So yeah, Nightbringers, I believe I did hear it in full before, and it's been a long time. It's been at least, I want to say, 2 or 3 years since I've heard this album in full, so I couldn't really tell you guys much about it. So yeah, it is a really good album, and it is one of my favorites from the band thus far. So yeah, really great melodic death metal here. So yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this list for best metal-rock albums of 2017. Let me know y'all's favorite albums from 2017, whether it be in metal or rock or even any other genre. Even though I did list just metal and rock albums from 2017 in this list, like to see you guys' list, even if it's albums that I don't have on my list. Everything's recommended to be talked about in the comments. So yeah guys, with that being said though, I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have an awesome one, and I'm out. See y'all next time. Peace.